Yes. All right. Peace, everyone. All right. Welcome. Welcome to the Moroccan Post School for Government and International Law Advanced Study Group. Welcome, everyone. All right. The days we will be having our advanced study group sessions every first and third Thursday of the month from 6:45 p.m. Eastern Standard Time to 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. All right. This is the first. We're going to go from February 1st to the end of July, end of August. We're going from February for starting today to end of August. All right. We have about 6 of us that are panelists, and we have Shem Malachi, who is one of the keynote speakers for the upcoming May 18th Moorish Governance Birthright Nationality Claim Conference. So I'm excited for tonight. We put a lot of work in preparing. We have the link for tonight's presentation in the chat. Most of you, all of you except one, has received the link through the your email or telegram. All right, we're going to start with a round robin, right? This is a cooperative learning advanced study group. It's well structured. All right, we're going to start with a round robin. It's going to state your name and an entity that you are affiliated with, and any community outreach that you've done over the years. All right. So what I'll do is I'll just go from the top. Sister Deanna, you go first.
I'm Sister Deani, Israel. Hi, I'm in West Virginia territory. I'm tired. I am a sister that has been studying more science for a number of years, basically by war and being in one battle after the other. I'm a retired veteran that served in the United States military, sadly to say, in the United States Public Health Service and the Coast Guard. And I've also practiced for many years as a pharmacist and an herbal medicinist. I have not done a lot of outreach because I've spent many years putting out fires, one after the other. I'm very, very happy to say that as of today,
I'm back
in a battle where I am actually winning, and I have 3 very large banks in default, awaiting a decision of a federal judge. And so I'm just going to hold my breath for a few minutes to see how that turns out. But that would mean that after many years of fighting, it all culminates into what's going on right now. I'm very grateful and very pleased to be present here today in this class. I have a lot more to learn, and I can't wait to get started. Thanks for the invitation.
Sister Sasha.
Greetings all. This is Sasha. My brother's name is Monty. He'll be stepping in any moment now. We are Dr. World Group. We contribute to overcoming dehumanization. We're delegates of the World Conference of Mayors, which is the United Nations extended arm with historic Black settlements and townships. That's their misnomer, but that's their misnomer. We again do global initiatives to the local level with our particular frameworks with an infrastructure perspective, where we engage in various contracting autonomously and have sovereignty on the highest level. So that's what we do. We are part of the end game. And we thank you, Abdullah and Shem, for the invite. We appreciate it. And we will be speakers at the next engagement. Thank you.
Brother Kara.
I'm Brother Carl Bay. My wife, Rosina, is here. Kind of got started back in 08, fighting for our house. That kind of trickled into other information, found out it was Moors, and that kind of led us on a long path right there. Collected so much information over the years, moved to Florida, opened up a brick and mortar called the Patah Center, where I just allowed people to come in, look at the information, get comfortable with learning what they were learning. Used to do a lot of teaching at the library, but people would stare at us a lot over the things we was teaching there. So that's what caused the Patah Center to come about. Shut that down just before COVID, and we do it kind of out the house now. Do community outreach as far as passing out dinners, feeding the homeless. I'm a bread vendor, so I do a lot of take a lot of my products over to the PHP, which is groups called People Helping People. We're out of Morocco, where the jurisdiction of Spring Hill, Florida operates. And I appreciate you all allowing me to come in.
I appreciate it also, and I'm just here to learn and soak up the information.
Brother Carla, talk about your study group.
Study group, we've been going since about 2010. It's about, well, they've come in and now it's like 4 of us that's really dedicated, stretched between here, North Carolina, Indiana. We've just been trying to find out what's the right way. We've been on a lot of different paths, kind of feeling our spirit when the path ain't right. We kind of drift out of them, drift into another one. So it all culminates around the fact that we wanted to bring this information to our people, and I feel that this one right here is where we're supposed to be.
Brother Vice.
Yeah, peace. My name is Brother Rosarius L. I'm out here in Phoenix, Arizona. I've been out here now since 2010. I first got into the movement probably in roughly 1995. Hooked up with Brother Ab maybe around 1999, 2000. Started to learn a little more about etymology. Really got into civics at the time. I was more just understanding of the more science temple. So Brother Abdullah opened my eyes to etymology and civics. I got into etymology and paralegal studies with him and Brother Kameti Yu. Since I've come to Arizona, I see that they lack a lot of the information out here. They're a little behind on what's going on as far as the movement is concerned. So since roughly 2012, 2013, I've been sharing information with other Moors out here that I've come across. The joke out here is nobody knew there was Moors in Arizona. There's a lot of Moors in Arizona. There's a lot of Moors in Arizona. You know, most of them come from other places and settle here, but there's a whole Moors community here in Arizona. And I'm just about spreading this information so that they're caught up with what we're really trying to do.
Talk about your outreach over the years, since 2010, since you've been out there.
Pretty much most of the brothers that I've and sisters I've talked to out here has been part of some of the motorcycle clubs out here. Talked to different brothers and sisters as part of the different Masonic lodges. You'd be surprised how many of them are wanting this knowledge and had no way of how to go about getting it. One brother in particular, he reached out to Ab, and he's from over here. Ab reached out to me to talk to him, and me and his brother have been talking ever since, and he's even getting a better understanding of who he is. He spread the word through his bike club, so a lot of them will come and talk to me. I got to do speaking engagements at bike clubs and certain lodges as well. Pretty much that in the last few years. I have a study group called For the Love of More 372 on a Telegram platform, and that platform is pretty much catered to pushing Shem Malachi Bey's plan and giving a better understanding of what it is in its entirety and breaking it down into parts. So it's very vast, And that's just something that I'm utilizing to cater to giving and spreading that knowledge of what's going on and what needs to be done and how we can take our place back amongst men.
All right, Monty. Is Monty with you, Shasha?
Not yet, not yet. Apologies.
All right, no problem. All right, next. Brother Lawson.
Hey, everybody making family. I am Brother Lawson Paya L. I'm currently in the Maryland region. I am a former law enforcement officer, not proudly, of the state of Florida. From 1994 into 2001. And I started my journey of reconnecting with self before I recognized that the culture was Moorish American. I started with astrology, and now that I travel, I'm applying a syllabus of interpersonal communication and transaction analysis, where I combine the inner workings of understanding what's actually being said. The idea came to me as I was being trained as a law enforcement officer in Tacoma, Washington. And we had a class called Interpersonal Communication Skills. And we had to actively go out in the public and engage with the public in conversation to see what we could figure out. And then we come back and talk about it. And after that experience, I moved to Florida, and I started working as law enforcement officer there. And I had the same exact class. And I realized that if you could understand exactly what's being said, then that would put you on another level of communication. And it was important because with working at a prison, you didn't know. And at that time, I was completely unconscious of what it was that I was doing. During my experiences there, the majority of the people that I was charged with at the time as a soldier to oversee, that I was in the wrong place. And many of them would tell me, man, you don't belong here. I had a couple of experiences with law enforcement on the opposite side as my career ended. And just so happens that the people that I worked with were now supervising me. During this time, I started having supernatural experiences, which allowed me to come in contact with the inner workings of this universe on a subatomic level where the consciousness began to extend beyond my flesh. And I became conscious of something that exists beyond my flesh. I had no idea what it was I was experiencing. It caused me to think that I was questioning reality. And as I developed, I realized that this was a part of esoteric communication. And at this time, I was completely unaware of esoteric studies. Well, since then, I left Florida and I became a member of the Clock of Destiny here. So I am an active member in studying with the Clock of Destiny as well. The moral compass that's involved is key to development. So the training that I did have and the experiences that I had, it led me to notice the need for interpersonal communication understanding and also transaction analysis. Now, when you're hearing these, you're thinking that it's the best way to explain it is if you and I, any one of you.
Hey, Brother Lawson, we're going to keep it short, all right?
Excuse me, sorry about that. Okay, well, that's,
right,
that's pretty much what it is. Thank you.
All right. All right. We have next DuPont.
It's I'm presiding in the political zone of Khalifa, California, or Khalifa. I'm in the Los Angeles, Watts, and Compton area, in Long Beach area. I've been at this with Abdullah for the last 3 years, I believe. And it's been a positive move. It's
Five.
been 5 years. It's been a positive move. And I'm glad I made this directional turn. I also deal with a lot of gang members and gang intervention. And I also do food giveaway for the homeless. But my main focus is on the gang members and trying to do a ceasefire out here. We have made a drastic accomplishment on the ceasefire, but my main priority is right here. I think they need this more than anything else. And with that, I yield the floor.
All right. Anthony, Brother Anthony Herb.
Greetings. Can we hear me?
Yes, you're good.
All right. My name is, I am Anthony Baron Hurd Hiram Abdul Alim. I am a multimedia artist and producer. I'm stationed here in Philadelphia, PA. I've been studying the arts since I was 9 years old. I do have quite a bit of accomplishments. I really practice not going on and on about those kind of things. In short, family, I discovered Freemasonry around the age of 21. And through that, I discovered more truth and knowledge that was being kept from my people, but it was being shown to me clearly. From that, I began to study, learn more about our people, who we are. And I'm working diligently now to do what it is that I can to bring awareness to more of our people, and so that we can maybe free them, you know.
All right. Brother Malik.
Islam, Moors. Islam, brother. Glad to see you, Brother Abdul. This is Brother Malik Bey from New York territory.
I know, my man.
Islam. Well, I've been coming into the study since 2007. Basically just doing a lot of civics, helping brothers and sisters out, showing them that in order to have standing dealing with these different tribunals and whatnot, you need to have a nationality. A lot of people lack that. They don't understand that. They think they go into these tribunals with this Negro stuff, and teaching people that knowing is the best tool to know that you're done with a corporation. You're not done with government. And that's why a lot of our people lack. Because they always assuming that they're done with a government and why we're not getting a fair share, like what they call reparations. But I'm going to land my plane in Islam.
All right, Sister Najma.
Okay.
Hi. Wait a minute. Hi, everybody. I'm in the hospital with a loved one, so excuse me. My name is Najma Rashad. I gotta get ready to go. I am currently, what do I want to call it? Where do I want to start? 33 years of a criminal defense and civil paralegal, and I'm still working with people. My outreach is I had my Academy, which was a school that I opened up in the Landover, Maryland, where I hired teachers on various levels to teach etymology, civics, math, martial arts, dance to the youth and to adults. I remain active in the community, assisting different people that my spirit gravitates to. I organized Love TV as a community outreach, which was a DC, Maryland, Virginia go-go function where in exchange for the youth party into go-go music, they had to also listen to guest speakers that I would choose to come in and talk to them about their history. And so I'm looking forward to learning in the coming weeks, months that we'll all be together. And I hope everybody is well and staying strong. Thank you.
Fakola Kusaril.
Islam. I'm
All right,
Islam. Islam. I I work in the medical field as a medical traveler. Been doing 6 years. Came into more science about 7, 8 years ago. I began doing individual studies, not initially coming to the temple, although I am a member of the More Science Temple. I wanted individual studies so that I would understand what this nationality and birthright is about. I've had some personal studies for genealogy. I've done genealogy officially since '83. And so me studying individually would allow me to speak in a form of truth of what's going on with me. When it came down to the more, so I was in the journey of birthright for a long, came into the more science, and then I started to do additional again, be able to pass on to people in truth what from my own experience. Since my outreach is a combination of wherever I travel. As I mentioned, I've been doing travel for about 24 years, and whatever hospital, whatever facility I'm at, if I come across Asiatics, I share with them the knowledge that I receive. That knowledge would include YouTube videos, being part of a study group with in Brooklyn, New York. And I am a MISA, which is the African and Middle East Economic Sustainability Alliance, which is interface with some of the about 35 nations. I was asked to come on board because of little medical knowledge, medical supply knowledge, and so I'm currently interfacing with a king in Ghana and medical doctor in Haiti, 2 orphanages in Haiti. I'm sorry, an orphanage in Haiti and orphanage in Ghana as well. So I'm kind of doing international, if you will, interaction. I also communicate with other ambassadors that are in other nations that may not know about what a Moor is or anything like that. And so I'm passing on anytime I have an opportunity to converse and it's a proper setting, or if I'm in surgery across the table from a surgeon or whatever, he says something, if he mentions those Black people, those are trigger points for me. And so I use those as teachable moments for the individuals I've come across. I hail from Michigan. I have been in New York, in and out of New York for the last 24 years as well. And so I have done work in various areas. So my outreach is really a combination. I'm pretty active on my Facebook when it comes down to my people, meaning I've been living 14, 15 different states. So I keep in touch with I'm constantly dropping them information for them to know who they are and to pass it on. And I've been a part of the study group with Brother Shem, Brother Abdullah, for I think maybe 4 years I've been working with them. I've been through the classes for treaty, for treaty studies and so forth. So here I am. I'm here to support. I'm also a speaker at the upcoming political unity conference in 18th of May. I look forward to that. I'm also helping out as much as I can. So he's so happy to be a part of the group as well. And the reason I'm talking about this is number 1, I'm at number 2. I also want to keep it short and look forward to working with everyone that's in Islam.
Amanda.
Yes. I'm Amanda. I guess where do I start? I got a social work degree similar to Abdullah. It was right before I started school for social work that one of my best friends he had just started learning about Moorish history and that he was a Moor. And he had introduced me to it and the information, and I had been taking it just throughout school, and trying to apply it, getting pushback from my teachers. There are things that were allowed me to validate some of the information as credible. However, there was a lot of things that it was a lot of individual court things, and I guess it was just more if I wanted to help people, but I didn't really have any kind of direction other than just trying to like tell people to gather a bunch of information and try to apply it. I went to, eventually I went to Philadelphia to study with Abdullah and take his etymology class at Temple University. And I have just been studying with him ever since, been a part of the study groups to the, I guess my outreach to the extent that it is outreach is just mostly similar to Pacola and some others, kind of just talking to other people about who the Moors are and just the history of the Moors that is not told. And so, yeah, I guess that's really it.
All right. Now, nor Roosme, no Rosme, nor Rosme. Am I pronouncing that right? Give me the correct.
Yes, it's Narosme.
Narosme. All right, good. I think good.
Yeah. Can you hear me fine?
Yes.
Okay. So Abdullah and I think Ujima tribe. I guess I've seen you guys in Amanda. I've been on a couple group sessions, and I'm in Massachusetts territory. And I got into this movement about a couple of years ago, and I was introduced to it by my brother about 10 years ago, but I never really looked into it until I had my own personal matters that I wanted to defend. And so I started diving more into the history, into the genealogy, into my own background. And so it got me more intrigued as to like how, just how I end up in this current position, right, under particular tags. And so that's how it started. I was navigating, throughout Massachusetts territory, just following the route of school, getting my bachelor's in finance and management. And then I started, my bachelor's in finance and management. And then I then started my master's in healthcare administration. But I wasn't really, I guess, satisfied because Massachusetts territory is like very political, especially on the Moabitist men and women. And so I couldn't understand why just economics and everything was so detrimental to us. So anyways, that's why I started to dive into it. So within the last, I'll say 5 months, I've had a lot of success with, but it was by force because I've never been in any like criminal jurisdiction anyway. And so I had a situation, well, it was a traffic situation. And so then I started diving into it and just learning through Taj, the House of Reawakening Minds. I'm part of the Moorish National Federal Republic. And so like Taraji Bay. So the information that I've been gathering has been scattered. Like it's just been all over, but it has been helpful to just coming from my own business background to kind of see how everything merges, I guess. So anyway, it's my background's not that fancy, but I will say that I do want to implement some changes within the Massachusetts territory for the Moabitist men and women. And so that's the end of that. And I guess leave the floor. That's it.
All right, Brother Quasi.
Peace, peace. I'm Kawazi L, near the foreign political zone known as Georgia. The outreach that we do in this area, we have a chess program where we connect with the youth through playing chess, and also a community garden, about 1.2 acres. This will be our third year of growing various produce like squash, cucumbers, okra, beans, watermelons, potatoes, and things of that nature. We started out our organization picking up trash, so we're trying to, change the mindset of, cleaning your environment and other things. We picked up trash, once a week, and we started to connect with the pseudo governments and the probation offices where we could connect with the youth in the juvenile probation and sign off on their community service and be able to mentor and talk to them while they're doing their community service and things of that nature. We have a study group where we meet 2 times a month, every second and fourth Wednesday. We started January 10th. And it's from 8 p.m. until whenever we get off. And I'm an entrepreneur. I got a smoothie business that I run 4 days out of the week. And yeah, that's about it.
Brother Carlos. Brother Carlos. Brother Carlos. You're muted. You're muted, Brother Carlos.
Peace. Can you hear me?
You got the floor, brother.
Peace. Man, I love what the sister was speaking on, man. And I'm in the Alabama territory, political zone. And we have a community center called the Crescent Cultural Community Center. And we kind of like direct our energy toward the youth. And at that center, we also have a We Grow program, not just for the youth, but it's for the community to get them involved in, gaining back the control that we lost. And that's basically the control over a food source. So, that's important to me because we leave our food sources up to 18 wheelers coming to Walmart and things of that nature. And that don't sit right with me in the end. Also, at the community center, we have a workforce development program where we equip the community, not just children, with basic tools to get off into construction. Because when you look at it, everyone has a home, and it's various of businesses that can come out of that. Electrical, HVAC, plumbing, drywalling, brick mason. It's a lot of entities that can strike the youth attention if they get exposed to it. And I have a background in teaching children that particular trade as residential construction at a school that I was partaking in. It was a private school called Build Up Birmingham. And they focused on blighted communities and set up schools in their community for those particular youths. And they had a lot of benefits, a lot of perks to that program, but that wasn't me, because at the end of the day, I want everything that we do to resemble us and not a foreigner, looking to gain benefits. And like I say, at the community center, we rent certain parts of the center out, for events, host events. It's just a lot, that we engage in as far as being there in that particular community, because they didn't have nothing at one time. So it's so many facets we've been able to reach out to and fulfill for these particular people that be in need, basically. So that's what we kind of offer at the community center. And then I got off into the divine and national movement of nationality, because at the end of the day, we can do we do everything for the community within someone else's jurisdiction, and that won't benefit them to the maximum. So again, nationality is like always the order of the day, because that's your status, that's your standing. That's how law moves forward compared to who you are, or who you say you are, or who you acquiesce to being. So I'm trying to bring that part. That's a real critical part on my behalf, because when you can offer a person freedom and liberty, they should have everything else licked. I yield the floor.
All right, I connected Carlos and Quasi. So Quasi is only one state over. All right, so Quasi and Carlos will be working together. All right, Quasi has the Quasi that you talk about, the community garden, right? And
yeah.
Carlos is a contractor. So Carlos will be coming to going to Quasi. Quasi will be going to Carlos. All right. Also connected Quasi with Bob Johnson and Brother Jabril. Bob Johnson and Brother Jabril are two of Matakubu's connections. All right. That Matakubu introduced me. They will be coming here to Philadelphia on May 18th. Bob Johnson and Brother Jabril. They will have the Juneteenth day, I think the 10th or 12th one, Juneteenth day. The largest in the country, over 100,000, will be at the Olympic Park in Atlanta. All right, so they will. I will be going to Atlanta after. Of course, ours is May 18th. They'll be coming here as panelists, and then we'll be going there as to participate and support them. All right, so that's Matakubu connecting me with Bob Johnson and Brother Jabril, I think about over a month ago. And I connected Quasi with Bob Johnson and Brother Jabril. All right, these are things I've been doing for 37 years. All right, so we have Brother Sheehan, Brother Sheehan. Brother Sheehan. Brother Sheehan.
Oh,
you're muted,
okay.
brother.
I took out the mute. Yeah, my apologies. Sheehan Chandler Bay. Excuse me. From the from the political jurisdiction, where the political jurisdiction, Grand Valley does business in Missouri. The brother was speaking on construction, and Abdullah, as you know, we went off and we started our own foundation repair company, and foundations speak nationality to foundation, and even the stronger structure needs support. And so I actually use that in conveying to people that, hey, we need to help each other to get away from kind of the individual mindset. And one of the things I was thinking about is segueing. My partner, he's European, but I still learn and teach along the way, just like we're able to speak in class, speak plainly, speaking plainly, and you reference upon references and using the resources to, not just teach our own, but teach other nations or the different European kingdoms here at Morocco, which is important too, especially if we're going to do business together. Then, in one sense, even if things were the way they were, if the diplomatic relations were still there, then there's still there still has to be interface with each other. And so, but one of the things I was actually thinking about doing is, and I started with a couple of some teenagers, is machine operating. You know, that's a part of the construction industry that you can set your own hours, you can set your own time, and you know, once you've proven to be competent and you know safe and have safe practices, then you know you can kind of you can make your way if you're diligent. So I'm just connecting with others throughout, and still working on the book, Discrimination as a Diversionary Argument, The Road to Post-Millennium. Wife, children, I just nieces, nephews. You know, I'm serious about this, and you know, anything that I think we can do to be self-sustaining, clearing our concepts up. My parents always taught us, you know, that you don't be a one-trick pony. And so, you know, anything that we can do, anything I can do to reach my people, you know, even though our parents and our parents, they were groomed with improper concepts, they still had they still put this in me as far as knowledge of self and how important that is and how vital that is, and being of service not only to your family but your community as a whole, and how it's going to take all of us together. And so coming in with unity, togetherness, and love for myself and my people, I'm here, and I'll shut the heck up now.
All right, iPhone, put your name in. You must put your name in. iPhone, put your name in. You must put your name in. All right, when you come on, just put your name in. You know. All right, who's iPhone? iPhone. iPhone. All right. All right, Terrence, you're gonna cut off iPhone until they'll come back in and put their name in. Terrence, kick my iPhone off. All right, so we have Brother Monty. Are you with us?
Greetings. Can everybody hear me?
Mm-hmm.
Right. I basically work with my sister Sasha on Dr. World Group. We basically work on overcoming dehumanization. The reason we work on that is because one of the highest forms of dehumanization is denationalization. So we basically take the positive aspects of policies, laws from an infrastructure perspective, from the global to the local level. And we do that by basically weaving it together in all our plans in a tactical manner, so that way we can move into proper governance. Thank you.
All right, before I bring Matakubu on, let me see what else. All right, Brother Matakubu.
Through the chair, Udama Akiyua, thank the Most High, line of the new dawn. Makakuvu Ali El Bey. I am a Cushite Kemetic Moor. I've been in the Moorish paradigm. When I came in through the Moorish Permanent Mission to the United Nations, which is no longer functioning, under His Excellency Nakim Bey. As a Mori Amazi, Chalaji, my ancestry goes back over 150 years down here in Georgia. I'm currently in the New York territory in Brooklyn. I've done a number of Moorish nationality conferences back in the early 2000s. I've done the Mother Nubia Queen Mother Award to honor our elder mother. I've done the Ma'at Festival. I have a track record of doing the Harnessing the Diaspora Economic Current Economic Development Summit. The first one took place in May of 2017 at the headquarters of the African Union with the grace and courtesy of His Excellency Ambassador T.T. Antonio from Angola, who's currently the Secretary of Foreign Affairs for Angola. The second one was during General Assembly across the street from the United Nations at the UNESCO Association of New York. The third one was a small one in Queens at Thomasina's. The last one we did was in 2022 in October at the Blue Marlin Bistro in South Fulton, Georgia. And at that one, we had the honor of Honorable Louis Gossett Jr. giving the keynote address. I'm one of the organizers of the conference in May. As you see, the logo of our business organization, the World Media Coalition Jazz Lovers Television Network. We have 6 broadcast platforms. Our newest broadcast platform is in the Roku platform. We have the Odyssey channel, and I'm going to ask Brother Abdullah Bey to send the Odyssey channel to everyone. And please like and follow us on that platform. Most of you are familiar with YouTube, but when you go to our Odyssey channel, it's much cleaner than YouTube. You don't see all the garbage on our Odyssey channel that you see on YouTube. So I would ask everyone to follow us on the Odyssey channel. Why? Because it will generate funds. It will generate funds for us. Our business model, I'll talk about that later on, will also generate funds for all of us. I've been in the martial arts for over 55 years. I've always said, as far as I'm concerned, all of us in the United States need to be trained in the martial arts. So if you're not training, find some place to train. I got one leg and half a foot, and I'm still training. My age is 74 in August of this year. So I don't have a lot of time left on the planet. So when Brother Abdullah Bey and I met, and he had the trip he made down here to Atlanta in October, I had introduced the brother to the Attica Kingdom Alliance of over 750 kingdoms coming out of Uganda. During that time, I also appointed him as a royal ambassador to the Attica Kingdom Alliance. The Attica Kingdom Alliance, LLC, is a business entity coming out of the Massachusetts territory under the Honorable His Excellency Ambassador Oprong. The ambassadors in Uganda and the Attorney General and His Royal Highness Papa Sande all know us. They have all been invited to the conference. I recently spoke with some of the ambassadors who were invited to the conference. I greet you, Uduma Akayu, Lion of the New Dawn. The lion is our consciousness. The new dawn is the resurrection of our consciousness. Uduma Akayu, the vibratory frequency of spiritual liberation. In this day and time, which is 6,263 Smai Taiwi, 6,263 Smai Taiwi. Smai Taiwi in antiquity meant the unification of Upper and Lower Kemet under Nesut Nama. They call him Pharaoh. Nasut, the Kemetic term for king, in 440 BCE, which brings us to 6,263, which means instead of us being on the Greco-Roman calendar in the 3rd millennium, we're actually on the Kushite Kemetic time construct in the 7th millennium. And that is very significant because the 7th millennium on the Kushite Kemetic time construct is 37 years from 6,300.
One more minute, Matakubu. Go ahead.
No problem. 6,300 represents the Kushite Kemetic cosmological birth cycle of the Ma'at dawn. Why is it a birth cycle? Because 6 and 3 is 9, which means born. So I'm talking about cosmological numerology realm, and that's important because on the other side of that is 2060, which brings about the equation. So moving forward into May, the trajectory for that conference is to take us to the International Criminal Court with the documents signed off by all of us, Semi-Taiwan unification, to enforce the protection that our treaties give us from the Moors, from the Empress rare bird of the Chaliki nation, and they're unifying all of the 5,000 so-called tribes, I call them nations, on a Mexum. So moving forward into May, we're bringing everybody to the table. Even our naysayers and our enemies, everybody's being called to the table. Semi-Taiwan unification, 6,263. Makakuvu Ali El Bay, I yield.
All right. Shem, before you step off, Shem, are you with us? Shem, are you with us?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
All right. I know you got 2 minutes. I know you got 2 minutes, so you got to step off. All right. Go ahead.
Okay. Let me my name is Shem Malachi Bay, also known as Joel Spokesman Day. I'm a director Sini of the Moors. My mother is director Sini of the Moors of the Sundry Act. The Moors are taken out of Mexam, the land of Canaan, which is Africa, in the eastern hemisphere, western hemisphere, by African king, and put on a ship and brought back into their own land on the ship and sent and placed into a political conquest plantation of North Carolina. And they were sold to one called Hammond. Hammond bought the Moor, one of the Moor, I forgot what Moor it was, bought the Moor. The Moors came with the name of Hammond. So the Hammonds fought for their freedom through reparation, through filing a petition to the legislative branch of the government enforcing the Treaty of Morocco with the United States. Therefore, when they got married, as time passed on, my mother became the descent of the Hammond family, which is that Moorish family. Therefore, I'm a her descent. I'm from my matriarchal mother. Therefore, I'm a direct descent of the Moors of the Sundry Act. Also, I'm a direct descent of the Daoutis, which is the spiritual divine lineage that the great El, I had a privilege of having the great El appear to me in the similitude. This is no playing. I'm speaking real facts here. My whole life changed after being brought up in conquest, been caught up in the stirred system, in the streets, boxing, street fighting, playing basketball, out here doing stuff that was wrong. My first encounter to learn the sovereignty was going to the system behind being
Shem,
yes.
Shem, let me stop you. We need to see your face. Somebody just
Okay.
put your face on.
Yes, my first conscience came by running conflict with their laws, meaning that I was not abiding by their laws. Then when I happened, I went through the system. I had to learn how to read their structure. I mean, I didn't know nothing about their structure. The war was on. I was in a war. By being placed in a war with no weapons, the only weapon I learned was the reading, education, knowledge. Without that, you dead. It's like a man fighting a war without a gun. Everybody shooting a gun, rifles, missiles, and you ain't got nothing. You running with a stick in your hand, swinging a pole, trying to hurt someone with a pole. It's not going to work. So by learning that, my first encounter was this right here. When I had that encounter, something happened. Some divine happened to me. I mean, I started realizing there was something on the other side more than nature, on the unseen world. I mean, that all the revelation of knowledge and languages, everything that happens is already legislated in that world. It's written already. I mean, that what you mean? The play is, we all live in a play, matter. This is a divine mind, a mother and father, a divine mind that's right a matter, right? That writes something out. Every time we write it, it becomes matter in nature, matter. So I realized that, wait a minute, why is this wars on melanated people of the earth? I realized the wars on melanated people of the earth because they are the first people of the what? Of created under melanin, the sun, the carbon. They're the first unique people made from the earth. That's very important. I learned this. I learned this through the spiritual divine knowledge. That the reason why is a war upon all the melanated people of the world, because they are the first descent of their mother, the earth. They were poured out of the earth by the divine mind. The first architect structure of a pattern made. Therefore, everything comes from that. Everything, even flown out of nature. I realize the war.
Hey, Shem.
Yes.
Shem, you got to wipe it up because you got to go. You have to go. That's not,
I got you.
You have to go.
Yes, sir. I got it. Now, when I realized this right here, that the brother Martin Cooper is right. Everything starts from the spiritual realm. When I realized that I was the descent of the Daoudi, wait a minute. This is why all this knowledge started following me, how to get out. I said, wait a minute, we got a problem here. Then it taught me how to get out of this. The first time I got awakening to the real knowledge when I ran across Professor Abdullah Bey in 2006. Yes, Professor Abdullah Bey is my first teacher. And I'm glad to say, by learning his his information, it opened up doors in my mind. So the creator sent me there. The great L sent me there. Divine L sent me there to Abdul, so I could learn certain things of knowledge in his nature. I didn't have that knowledge. So what happened is,
Shem, you got to go.
No,
you have
I
to go.
I got about 4 minutes.
All right. I don't want to get beat up. 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 Come on, brother, you got to go. Come on now. You got to go.
Sir. What I learned is that we have to come together. We have to have a divine plan. If the divine mind does not write this in the unseen world, it can't become matter here. The reason why it's coming to pass now, because it's written in the unseen world. Now it's becoming matter here now. I mean, it's already pre-set up, and it's given to men and women coming out of a woman's belly. So the brother, right? This thing is real. It's a spiritual war going on right now, and we're gonna win the spiritual war because.
Hey, Shem, we're gonna end because I don't want to get beat up. No, I'm ending it. Shem, you gotta go. Peace, Shem. Peace, Shem. Peace, Shem. Peace, Shem. Peace. Thank you. Peace, Shem. Peace. I know what I'm doing.
Abdullah, his mother is going to get him, not you. Don't worry.
No.
She a prayer woman. Yes.
All right.
Abdullah, let me go.
All right,
but I appreciate everything that my intern was from the spiritual world, divine world, learning me of matter, how to operate in nature and the spirit. And right now, we at a time now that salvation.
Wait, Shem, wrap it up. Shem, let's go. Peace, Shem. Right. Peace.
All right.
Peace. I know what I'm doing. I know what I'm doing. I ain't got to worry about. I know what I'm doing.
Peace, Shem.
He's adorable. I know what I'm doing, y'all. Y'all ain't got to. I know what I'm doing. I know I'm doing. Terrence, that's why Terrence knows. All right, Terrence. All right, peace.
Peace, everyone. I have actually a short story. Basically, I came into the knowledge of knowing that we are Moors. In fact, I heard about it from a brother of mine back in about 2004. I never really took it serious because it was like everything that he was into. He went in wholeheartedly, and you know who I'm talking about, Brother Rob. And so it was just like, what he said, I just stopped listening to him until I started hearing more and more about it. And then I started kind of studying on my own, doing a little surface peeping YouTube study And until a point where I'd say maybe about around 2016, 2017, somewhere around in there, I started studying more. January 11th was when I met Shem and Abdullah, because of course, you know, a lot of people are introduced on YouTube to Taj Tariq Bey, and that was who my brother was into. And I'm like, oh man, I really just need to learn in a classroom setting. And pretty much, I make a short story shorter. I found out where the House of Reawakening Minds were, the actual building. I wound up going on January 11th, 2020. And what was it? I think it was in December.
Well, that was December.
It was
December.
yes, it was that December.
The third was that the second. No, I taught the what? I taught on the second Friday.
You taught on the second Friday.
Yes, Taj taught the first and third. I taught the second.
Okay, so that's what it was.
Second Friday.
It was
Second
the end
Friday.
of, it was December, 2019.
Yeah, second Friday. Yeah, yes.
And I thought I was going to see Taj and you know, the God Taj, you know, and thought I was really going to learn something. But I wound up meeting Abdullah, which was Abdullah actually opened up the door, and which was you know, more than I mean, it's just beautiful, you know. Abdullah and I and Shem has been pretty much tight ever since. And that is the right person to learn from. I mean, believe me, everyone. I mean, in fact, don't believe me, you know Abdullah. But yes, yes, this is where it is. But right now, we are you know, I've done projects, some of you seen over, you know, the past few years. We've done the United Republic of Morocco. We did that for, you know, for a good while. We did the what was the other school? Academy of Providence, where Abdullah and Tamara were co-founders of that. And I did most of the I did the majority of the recordings for that, and which I'm doing the recordings now for us, for our group here in Moroccan Post School for International Government and International Law. And I'm just happy to be in the midst of everyone here. Everyone here is very important. This is the reason why we are all on this call, all on this in this event study group here. So I will respectfully ask that, I mean, I know we don't like to show videos and everything, but at least when you speak, if you are presentable, please just show your face so we know who we're talking to. We are beautiful people, so yeah, it's none of that. So anyway, thank you. Told you my story is going to be short, and let's learn together. And in fact, I heard the sister say, can't remember her name. She's over here somewhere. But anyway, she says she just come to, you know, absorb the knowledge. But you know what? That's not what we're doing here. We're absorbing the knowledge and we're taking action. So just keep that in mind. Love you all, and let's get going. Abdullah, you're next.
All right. I am Abdullah Mosi Bey. Yes, long journey. My 31st year of long journey. I have a wealth of I have a great deal of observation. So when I come from, my perspective is not from a 6-month or 1 year or 2 years. It's from over 30 years of observation. I've been heavily involved. All right. I started out with Tariq Bey. I met him at Jimmy's Barbershop in Camden, New Jersey in October of 1993. That was a Friday. That's the night that he taught class. One of the nights he taught class on Friday night and Sunday afternoon.
And that first night, you know, he had the picture that appears on the back of the one Federal Reserve note, where you had the pyramid on the left and the word one and the eagle on the right, you know, and that was that introduction into the concept that we're part and parcel, which is actually a false concept. I taught that false concept to thousands of people over a 25-year period, and I was stuck into that paradigm for 25 years. You know, so that's a big deal to me. All right, to provide clarity with over 100 sources. I'm going to come with over 100 sources, to come with enough sources where it's irrefutable. It's irrefutable. It's to empower y'all with sources after sources after sources. That is Terrence knows. I was 2 o'clock in the morning, I would text him. 5 o'clock in the morning, you know, 3 o'clock in the morning. I mean, I am, because you got to keep in mind, y'all, 25 years of teaching something and then finding that it's not so. You got to walk in my shoes. You have to walk in my shoes. That is a big deal to me. You know, you're talking about 25 years. I'm talking about the 1,000. When I say 1,000, I'm not exaggerating. Not exaggerating. You know, so we're gonna go. Shem, Terrence, I'm done. We're gonna go right to the Richmond Canes, because that is we're gonna go right to the screen, put on the screen, so we'll get started with that. I wanted to spend this time on the round robin because it's important that we come to know each other. And so when we come back on in 2 weeks, then anyone who was not on today will get a chance to do that. But it won't go as long, you know what I mean? So it won't go as long. But we had enough people that put on. It's important that we get a chance to know each other, that it's actually on the recording. All right. So this is the Moroccan Post School for Government and International Law Advanced Study Group, starting from February 2024 to it'll end in August of 2024. It's going to actually go through the conference. Through the conference. All right. So, Terrence.
Can everyone see this clear?
Yes. Can everyone see the slide?
Yes.
Okay, wonderful.
All right. I said most of y'all have this. Most of y'all have this in your Telegram, or I've emailed it to you. All right. Most of you have it. All right. We have Terrence Bay, co-founder and administrator. Shem Malachi Bay, co-founder and curriculum developer and teacher. Abdullah Mosi Bay, co-founder, curriculum developer and teacher. King Bay, teacher. King will be teaching 2 of the classes here in March, in the end of March, the third Thursday in March, and the first Thursday in April. And if we need to, change that time, that's fine. We need more time on this, that'll be fine. All right, free recorded courses and seminars on the Moroccan Post Media YouTube. We have the Moorish Body Politic Formation, Constitution and Government and Principle course. All right, 12, which embodies 12 classes, constitutes 12 classes. We have the Moorish Treaty Protection and Consular Relations course 101, the Moorish Treaty Protection and Consular Relations course 201, which embodies about over 12 classes. We have upcoming study books, supplementing recorded courses, the Treaty Enforcement and International Law study book, Consular Notification study book, Central Authority study book, Writ of Quo Warranto study book, Letter of Rocatory study book, Moorish Body Politic Formation study book. So some of these study books will be coming out this year and into next year. All right. So we'll have about 2 or 3 that'll come out this year, and the rest will come out next year. All right. Whoever defines the language controls the issue. The basic tool for the manipulation of reality is the manipulation of words. If you can control the meaning of words, you can control the people who must use them. I want y'all to analyze that. I won't engage any discussions on that right now, but I don't want you to just parrot it. You know, don't want you to parrot it. That's really analyze it. Take your time. You know, when whoever defines the language controls the issue, the basic tool for the manipulation of reality is the manipulation of words. If you can control the meaning of words, you can control the people who must use them. This is huge. This is huge. This is a major issue that we have to address. This is major. And it can't be addressed individually. And this is what I've, for 30 years, remember, once again, I don't have 6 months. I don't have 1 year. I don't have 2 years. 30 years. I've seen individual upon individual upon individual upon individual approaches. Shem Malachi Bey is the only one, yes, the ONLY one, that brought the national principle approach. Let me explain what that means. Let me explain the national principle approach. This is, I'm going to continue, I'll use examples I've always used. The Chinese Constitution, embodied, drafted in the Chinese Constitution, is the nationality, national identity of the people belonging to China. Also, the name of the body politic that drafted in the Chinese Constitution. A Chinese, when a Chinese flies on a plane to China, to France, they're wearing that Chinese Constitution. That means they're clothed, that's what it says, they're clothed with the Chinese Constitution. When the Chinese national, now the Chinese national in France, is met by 3 French cops. The 3 French cops are beating down the Chinese national, but they're beating down the coat, though. They're beating down the Chinese Constitution. They're beating down the coat, all right? That's the national principle. So it's not addressed. The Chinese government will not address it as individual, that they beat down that one Chinese. That's not how it's addressed. That's because now you're talking about Chinese cops. I mean, French cops. So now it's an offense against China. It's an attack on Chinese sovereignty. The Chinese officials will address it in that matter. It'll be addressed through diplomatic channels. It's not going to be addressed like, oh, they beat down Terrence. And it's where Terrence goes to court and deal with that individual. That's not. We have to restore the national principle. What I've seen, Shem Malachi Bey is the only one that brought the proper concept of national principle and a method of what? Restoring the national principle. What I've heard for 30 years, I'm nationalized. Got my paperwork. I'm nationalized. I'm nationalized. I'm nationalized. And I was caught up in that. I really wasn't clear on this movement until Shem. And then, of course, connecting, I've known Shem for 20 years. I began to work with him 5 years ago. It will have been 5 years in April. We stood outside his mother's house for 2 hours. And he explained the national principle to me. I understood that, but didn't know how to implement it. I didn't know how to get that restored to our people. I didn't know how. So when I saw heard Shem, I said, ooh, Shem, we got to get this to our people. Let me help you. So I vowed, I pledged, I vowed to work with him, to help him. So understanding that once conscious Moors, this is why we're having this study group. Notice that's why I wanted to do the round robin, because I want y'all to hear the type of people that's part of this study group. Sister Nitra had to drop off. She was on her way home. Sister Nitra reached out to me yesterday. She's a teacher in Maryland. She teaches teachers. Let me out. Right. Once again, she teaches teachers. I spent an hour on the phone with her today. All right. So she will be one of the panelists. All right. So like I said, she reached out to me through email yesterday. I didn't know the sister until, so we talked on the phone, and that she wants to implement. So she asked me, well, when, we got this, well, we're building this curriculum. So how do we connect? I said, well, that you're part of that. This is that. So you're talking about, you need a political structure to protect the educational structure. So I began to say, that's the Malachi Bay plan. So that she said, oh, so I gave her clear, so I'm, when we were working with her and continue to build a educational structure with etymology and language portion, extensive. So we need a political structure to protect the educational structure. So when I made that very clear to her, so I said, once you become part of, we have the class, we have the study group tonight, we have a conference coming up, you'll be one of the panelists. So she's very active, and she's, like I said, she teaches teachers. So I just wanted people to hear the type of people who are on this platform, that they're involved in community, they have outreach, and it's just a matter of increasing their knowledge and also being part of a network where you're not by yourself. You're part of what? An educational network. You're part of we can foster community, cooperative learning and proper concepts. All right, well, Terrence. Terrence, next screen. All right. Before I read this, I'm going to ask questions. I'm going to ask a question. Take this off the screen, Terrence. Take this off the screen. All right, my bad. Yeah, I didn't know that was next. We can take that off the screen. All right, I have a question. What is iridation? What is iridation?
I don't know.
What does it mean to be erudite? What is iridation? What is the meaning of iridation? What is the process of iridation? Iridation means that ITON is the prefix, is the suffix, means process of, conditional state of. All right. How does one become erudite?
Move it.
Be rough. Kind of like
not you. We had this discussion today. No. That's why I said, nope, not you. Go ahead, someone else.
But it says
You've heard this. Go ahead. What's that?
It needs to bring out the rough.
Bring out the rough. So bring out the rough, that means, so can someone help? Can you expand on that?
Course.
Course. So you're So that, all right. So what is the state of the person, the natural person? All right. So where to irradiate, so to bring them to a process of irradiation, what state are they in? What state are they in first?
Are you referring to the process described in Quran chapter 5 with a workshop?
I'm not asking you. No, don't ask me. Don't ask me. I'm asking. I asked the question. I don't do no answering. I'm not answering any questions. I asked the question. So that means you're gonna have to explain. All right. So if you don't, don't. All right. That means you have to bring. If you don't know, that you have somebody else. But I'm not gonna answer any questions. All right.
Okay. Can I try to answer it?
Yeah. Yes.
Okay. So I would say to get to the point of erudition, you would have to be in the state of ignorance, right?
Don't ask me. Don't ask me. Go ahead.
Okay, well, I would say to get into the state of erudition, you would have to apply a particular knowledge, a particular study, a particular process, I guess.
So you say they were in a state of ignorance. So the state that they're in, they begin in a state of ignorance. All right, they begin in a state of ignorance. All right.
Could we define the word?
Define what word?
Is it irradiation?
Well, that's why this is why we have the opening. Yes.
Yes, sir.
Go ahead. Yeah, find it. Anyone? So we have this. So the state of ignorance. So someone said rough. Someone said rough. All right. So the base word is rude. Rude. So erudition. All right. Rude is the base word.
So
all right. So we
process then, brother, right? The process.
What's that?
It's a process of being well educated or possessed with a sense of knowledge.
You said using the word education though.
No, I said we're referring to the process of getting to the state of having knowledge.
But you used the word education though in defining it.
That's erudition, right?
Yeah, but you used the word education in defining it though.
Oh, okay. So yeah,
that's what you're. Yeah, you use the word education in defining it. You said it's the process of being well educated. You use the word education in defining it.
Yes.
All right.
What about training? The process of being trained or educated. Without using education, the process of being trained.
All right.
Instead of using education.
Oh, okay.
Instead of using education, the process of being trained in something, I guess, academic.
How about a demonstration of scholarly expertise?
Hear what Rashid said. A process of being trained.
Trained, okay.
The person is rough. They're ignorant. They're disrespectful. They're harsh. So by a process of being trained, they're rude, they're ignorant, disrespectful, they're rough. All right, you got to smooth the rough edges. So the training applies to that word. I heard some of you was using education. And we're gonna now. So this is part of the analysis. Now, what is education?
Do I need to raise my hand?
Yeah, just say it because nobody else is. Yeah, so we can move on. I mean, so we can continue. Continue the flow.
Education. To bring out I think the root is edu to bring out what's within. To bring out
the root is not edu.
Isn't it educare?
Yeah, e is what? What is e? What is e?
Out.
The prefix.
The
prefix. All right. What is d? What is duk? What is duck? D-U-C, what's D-U-C, duck?
Root word.
The root word, all right. So what does duck mean?
I don't know what you mean by.
What does duck mean? What does the root word duck mean? I don't know what else to say it. What does the root word duck mean? What does the root word duck, D-U-C, mean? The root word has a meaning. Lead.
I don't know.
Lead. What does the prefix E mean? What does the prefix E mean?
Out.
Out. So lead out. So lead out. Education is the process or conditional state of leading out. Leading out. All right, so Terrence, put the screen up.
All right, give me 1 second. Share screen. Number 2. I'm coming your way.
All right, go right to that. All right, can we have a reader?
Etymology of the word education. The original of meaning of education. Education. E out of plus ducko, in parentheses, I lead. The construction, continue?
Yes.
The constructed definition of education is a total departure from the traditional definition of education, like the one given in the New Century Dictionary of English Language, Appleton Century, Crafts, New York, 1927. The drawing out of a person's innate talents and abilities by imparting—
Stop there. The drawing out of what?
The drawing out of a person's innate talents and abilities.
All right, what does innate mean? What does innate mean?
Innate.
From within, it's already in them.
So born with or natural to?
Born in or natural to? Born in or natural to? So that's what we got to break. That's what I'm saying. We got to slow it down. Make sure you understand every word. Born in or natural to.
Okay.
So it's not smooth out no rough edges. It's not smooth out rough edges. You know what I mean?
Yes.
It ain't bringing somebody out of a state of ignorance. It ain't smooth to what? To what? The drawing out of a person's innate talent and what? Ability. The drawing out of a person's innate talent and ability. Not smoothing edges. You know what I mean? All right, yeah. Somebody's rough, disrespectful and unruly, and all right, then that's not education.
Not animal training.
It's not, yeah. So animal training would be erudite. If you want animal training would be associated with erudite. Animal training would be associated with erudite. I mean, training would be associated with erudite.
Animal training.
All right, continue.
And abilities by imparting the knowledge of language, scientific reasoning, history, literature, rhetoric, etc. The channels through which those abilities would flourish and serve, excuse me. Those who constructed the modern dehumanizing meaning of education: Jean-Jacques Rousseau, Wilhelm Wundt, and John Dewey, E.T. Al.
In others. I mean, yeah, it means in others.
Et al. Reconstructed definition, education was developed based on their study of animal training. The dehumanizing definition of education used by the experimental psychologist is found in an online educational psychology, Barnes & Noble, New York, 1934, revised edition by Rudolph Painter et al. The redefinition of education. Learning is the result of modifiability in the paths of neural conduction.
Let me stop you there. Stop there for a minute. What is the meaning of modifiability?
Modifiability, excuse me. Been changed.
What is the meaning? What's the meaning?
Altered.
There you go. There you go. So the learning is the result of modifiability. Education is not the result of modifiability. What? To draw out one's innate
Islam. Yeah.
talent and ability.
Uncover, discover.
All right, continue. I just, I don't want y'all to say Abdullah said anything. Go ahead.
Islam, brother. Explanations of even such forms of learning as abstraction and generalization demand of neurons only growth, excitability, conductivity, and modifiability. The mind is the connection system of man, and learning is the process of connecting. The situation response formula is adequate to cover learning of any sort, and the really influential factors in learning are readiness of the neurons, sequence in time, belongingness, and satisfying consequences. What does modifiability mean? Etymology of erudition, erudite, out, rudis, unskilled, rough, unlearned, literally to bring out of the rough. Etymology online. Base word of erudition is rude. Rude, late 13th century. Coarse, rough, without finish. From Old French ruide, and directly from Latin rudis. Rude, crude, unlearned, a word related to rudis, rubble. The senses of ill-mannered, uncultured, boorish, uneducated, ignorant are from mid-14th century, also of actions or act. Violent, rough, that of low birth or position, common, humble, is from the 14th century. The meaning, marked by incivility, contrary to the requirements of courtesy, is perhaps late 14th century, certainly by the 16th. Merriam and Webster. Taking these meanings into account, erudite stays true to its etymology. Someone who is erudite has been transformed from a roughened and uninformed state to a polished and knowledgeable one through a devotion to learning. Whereas education has reference to innate talents and abilities as defined in the New York Century Dictionary of the English Language, Appleton, Century, Crafts, New York, 1927. The drawing out of a person's innate talents and abilities by imparting the knowledge of languages, scientific reasoning, history, literature, rhetoric, etc. The channels through which those abilities would flourish and serve. Epistemology.
Epistemology.
Epistemology. The branch in philosophy of how, thank you, brother. The branch in philosophy of how one knows knowledge. The study of a structured way of thinking. Epistemology.
All right, we get another reader.
Etymology, an aid in reading and dictionary study skills. Etymology, study of the origin, real and true meaning of words. Etymology is derived from the Greek root etym, meaning history, origin, true and real meaning, study, science, word, and theory. Etymology is an indispensable disciple used as foundation for other fields of study. Webster's New International Dictionary of the English Language, 1921 edition, defines etymology as the origin or derivation of a word as shown by its analysis into elements, by pointing out the root or primitive upon which it is formed, or by referring it to an earlier form in its parent language. Also an account setting forth such origin or derivation, often with facts bearing upon the word's relationships, the formal history of a word. The origin and historical development of a linguistic form of words are shown by determining its basic elements, earliest known use, changes in form and meaning, tracing its transmission from one language to another, identifying its cognates in other languages, reconstructing its ancestral form where possible, explaining the changes of words as possible, the variations of form and spelling. Semantics, study of meaning and the study of meaning of words. Semantics is the field of study that reveals how words gain connotative meanings and become, through European social engineering, the common understanding, ordinary meaning, plain meaning, and the established meaning. Etymology reveals how the connotative meanings of words become the general public accepted and established new meanings. Connotative meanings are placed in dictionaries, and over a period of time, the original meanings and applications of words are de-emphasized and eventually lose their true essence in the general public. Thus, since the general public is not taught the foundation of words, it is socialized into accepting connotative meanings as being the true, real, and original meanings, and therefore the only reference point to which to analyze and determine meanings of words. Objectives of
let me stop you there. All right, we have Sister Nitra is back. So Sister Nitra, I did tell them a little bit about yourself, but I want you to tell them about who you are. And then we have Brother Kadim jumped on. All right, so before we move into that next section, the Sister Nitra, and then you're next, Brother Kadim.
Good evening, everyone. I want to apologize for getting knocked off the call. My name is Anitra Butler Ngugi, and I am a teacher educator at Prince George's Community College in Largo, Maryland. And on the side, I work for Ubuntu Learning Solutions, where I'm working with other fellow educators in the effort to decolonize the syllabus. And so right now, I haven't done a lot of community outreach, but my goal is to get more involved in the community because I want to become what's called a scholar activist and help my people through just empowering them through language, because we know that language is used to control our minds. So thank you all for letting me join the class tonight.
You also teach teachers, so go into that and things that you and I talked about today, and how you and I work together.
Okay, yes. So I teach teachers who will be early childhood educators, elementary, middle school, high school teachers, and my focus is on literacy. And so today I got in touch with Brother Abdullah because I was really curious as to how context clues and connotations is being used as a part of that social engineering. And so today he taught me not just to say it because that's just saying blah, 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 but to actually show them. And so our goal is that he's going to get into my class. I'm going to invite him to one of our sessions where we can actually model for the teachers, use real dictionary entries and show them how the curriculum is actually designed thanks to the Rockefellers and other folks 100 years ago or in 1902. So those people is why we're in the predicament that we're in today. And I think Brother Taj Bey said that we are, in a sense, educated illiterates. And that term really did something to me. So I want to work on becoming not just educated, but get rid of that illiteracy and go back to true meaning. And what's the established meaning is what we are against. And so I'm really glad to partner with Brother Abdullah to get this word out, teach teachers how to teach for true meaning, not what the semanticists are saying that these words currently mean. Because right now we're teaching kids that connotation is how the word makes you feel. And how can you become literate and strong with if a word makes me feel good, or a word makes me feel bad? And I want to get rid of that logic and really teach kids how to read.
All right, Brother Kadeem.
Islam, brother. What was the question? I missed it. You said to introduce myself?
Introduce yourself. Yes, and tell us, your outreach, how you got involved in the movement, things you've been working, so forth.
Okay. Well, my name is Brother Kadeem Bey. Also, also Caleb Lander Bey. I'm out here in Houston, Texas. And what happened? Oh, somebody's mic is off mute. But I'm just here learning as much as possible. I have a lot of people around me that are willing to learn. And so I just take it upon myself to learn as much as possible so I could be a good role model. Etymology is very important to me so that not only can I read correctly, but I can change the way that I think and change the way that I speak. I find that if you know the words you're saying, your words could hold more meaning. It could be more precise and it could be more universal in what you're saying instead of expecting people to understand what you mean and you're not really saying that thing. So just a young Moor trying to comprehend this a lot more. I proclaimed my nationality in 2015. So to me, I'm relatively still new to a lot of this information. So I just like to take a seat and learn as much as possible.
All right, thank y'all. All right, so we'll continue. Terrence.
All right. Get back into it. All right.
We have a reader.
Objectives of the Moroccan Post School for Government and International Law, National Education, Community Outreach, and Network. Number 1, facilitate education in the communities in Moorish nationality, national identity, consanguinity, Moorish history, Moorish culture, international law, Moorish treaty enforcement, diplomatic and consular relations, political science and political philosophy, government and constitutional principles. 2, to develop study manuals. 3, to develop courses in preparing Moors for self-government. 4, to develop courses in preparing Moors for Moorish treaty enforcement, diplomatic and consular relations. 5, to facilitate lecture series. 6, to facilitate study groups. 7, to facilitate community outreach liaisons. 8, to facilitate the distribution of a community educational newspaper. Courses offered at the Moroccan Post School for Government and International Law. Main objectives of the courses. 1, restoring protection to our people, the native Moors of the land, through Moorish treaty enforcement, through Moorish government structure, diplomatic channels, central authority, diplomatic relations, and consular relations. 2, the names Moor and Morocco as the focal point in European kingdoms, politics, treaties, trading, commerce, diplomatic, and consular relations between the 700s and 1800s. List of courses of the Moroccan Post School for Government and International Law. Moorish Body Politic Formation, Constitution and Government Principles courses, 12 sessions. Moorish Treaty Protection and Consular Jurisdiction, 101 course, 9 sessions. Moorish Treaty Protection and Consular Jurisdiction, 201 course, 10 sessions. Contract Law, 101. Contract Law, 201. International Law. Seminar, The Loss of Moorish Sovereignty, 3 sessions. Seminar, Government is the Secured Party Creditor, 1 session. Etymology and Semantics, Study of the True Meanings and New Established Meanings, as well as how newly established meanings supplement the origin, true, and historical meanings.
Supplant.
Oh, okay. Okay, supplant the origin, true, and historical meanings as a basic tool for the manipulation of reality through the manipulation of words, and thereby controlling the people by controlling the meaning of words. The basic tool for the manipulation of reality is the manipulation of words. If you can control the meaning of words, you can control the people who must use the words. Philip K. Dick. Grammar as the building block to reading, comprehension, and writing, 101. Study of the parts of the sentence and questions they ask. Sentence patterns, personal pronouns, case, person, number, and gender. Grammar as the building block to reading, comprehension, and writing, 201. Study of verbs, verb tenses, moods, and aspects. Grammar as the building block to reading, comprehension, and writing, 301. Study of phrases, gerunds, participles, and infinitives. Grammar as the building block to reading, comprehension, and writing, 401. Study of clauses, noun clauses, adjective clauses, and adverbial clauses.
We have another reader.
I can read.
Don't write in.
Okay. Topics taught in the Moorish Treaty Protection and Consular Relation courses. Moorish Treaty Enforcement, Consular Notification and Access, Central Authority, Writ of Quo Warranto, Letter of Rogatory. Rogatory. Excuse me. Petition for removal, notice of removal, diplomatic channels, jurisdiction, competency, personality of law, capitulatory,
Capitulatory.
I don't think I can get that out. Extraterritorial consular jurisdiction, consular relations, diplomatic relations, consulates, consular court.
Continue.
So more topics taught in the Moorish Treaty Protection and Consular Relation courses. United States legislation to enforce treaties. 22 CFR Section 2.3, notification of foreign officials, current through July 31st, 2022, diplomatic and consular immunity, guidance for law enforcement and judicial authorities, United States Department of State, Office of Foreign Missions, United States Department of States, consular notification and access, instructions for federal, state, and local law enforcement and other officials regarding foreign nationals in the United States and the rights of consular officials to assist them. Federal Register, the Daily Journal of the United States Government, consular notification for aliens detained prior to an order of removal, a rule by the Homeland Security Department on 01/17/2007, Magistrate's Guide to the Vienna Convention on Consular Notification, Department of Justice regulations, and Department of State advice relating to the consular notification of the Vienna Convention, application of Article 36 of the Vienna Convention to criminal proceedings, 28 USC 1782, assistant to foreign and international tribunals and to litigants before such tribunals, federal criminal prosecutions, and the right to consular notification under Article 36 of the Vienna Convention, consular notification challenges under Article 36 on direct appeal following conviction. A, dismissal of indictment on or suppression of evidence. B, reversal of conviction and appellate standards of review.
Appellate.
Appellate, yeah, excuse me, yeah, appellate. Standards of review, application of the plain error standard, application of the harmless error standard, the right to consular notification, the cultural bridge to a foreign national's due process rights, steps to follow when an individual believed to be a foreign national is arrested or detained, petition for post-conviction relief and review.
All right, these topics are in the Moroccan Post Media YouTube page. Those are free courses. And these are the topics that were taught in the Consular Relations and Treaty Protection Course 101, 201. They're on the Moroccan Post Media YouTube page. All right. So you can go right to the course, go right to the page, and go have fun and look at those videos. Each of the videos, each of the classes are PowerPoint presentation, and we have those terms listed. We show excerpts of those various international conventions. All right. So just continue right along. I just wanted to let you know what's available to you already. What's already available to you on the Moroccan Post Media YouTube page. Go to town. They're well-structured classes. This was actually part of our Wednesday classes that in 2000, starting in February, starting in August. Well, we actually started before that. Well, on our platform, August of 2022. All right, carrying it over into 2023. So this is a well-structured, and this is in Morsi Meshi, Part 2, Chapter 8. So I just copied from Morsi Meshi, not the whole chapter, but this part from Morsi Meshi, Part 2, Chapter 8. I wanted to be structured, so I wanted to provide this for you. All right. Most of you have this presentation to your email, and if you don't have it, it's in the chat. This is in the chat, all right, because everyone doesn't have Morsi Meshi Part 2. So I wanted to provide structure, and will continue to push this structure, all right? So once again, Moroccan Post Media YouTube page, all right, continue. And this is good for you, sister, for you to get comfortable in reading, all right? So, and then also to learn the terminology, to learn these international instruments. And it's for everyone.
You want me to continue as well?
Yeah, you want to continue, yes, so you could get more comfortable, yes.
United States Senate Committee on Foreign Relations is a standing committee of the United States Senate charged with leading foreign policy, legislation, and debate in the Senate. United States Senate Committee on Foreign Relations to the United Nations, January 2000, address before the United Nations Security Council by Senator Jesse Helms, Chairman Field Hearing, implementation of the United Nations reforms, review of United States participation in the United Nations, hearing before a subcommittee of the Committee on Foreign Relations, United States Senate 88, Congress, first session, March 13, 1963. The 13th report, U.S. Advisory Commission on International Educational and Cultural Affairs, June 30th, 1977. The role of treaties in the development of international law, jurisprudence, and the writ of quo warranto. How to use the Moorish treaties and Moorish political structure to address disputes and conflicts. The function of Moorish councils and Moorish treaty enforcement. How to command the judge to issue the writ of quo warranto.
All right, let me stop you there. You can Google, all right, these are actual links, forms that you can actually Google. You just Google the name, all right, it'll take you right to it. So we showed excerpts of the various ones on the PowerPoint as we do our courses, all right? Throughout the Moorish Treaty Protection and Consular Relations course, 101 and 201. Once again on the Moroccan Post Media YouTube page. So you can actually Google Google the full name and it'll come up. All right. So we can also have people share the links, and upcoming links. But I wanted to provide this structure for you and this information because it's in the structure format. And I said, so this will actually complement the classes that's on the Moroccan Post Media YouTube page. You'll actually have the list of the terms and then the list of instruments that we actually go over in the courses. Someone else.
Okay, I'll hop in.
All right, rock away.
Okay, some international law terms taught in the Moorish Treaty Protection and Consular Relation courses. Treaty, Convention, Act, Vienna Convention on Diplomatic Relations, Diplomacy, Diplomatic Relations, Diplomatic Channels, Ambassador, Minister of Foreign Affairs / Secretary of State, Vienna Convention of Consular Relations and Consulate.
All right, let me stop you there real quick before you continue. And I didn't know. Continue.
Okay. Excuse me. Consular Court, Consul General, Consul, Vice Consul, Consul Commission, letter of executor, capitulatory. I can't get it out either.
Capitulatory. No, that's right. That's why you can become familiar with the pronunciation, the spelling, and the meanings. This is important.
Okay. Capitulatory. Extraterritoriality. Extraterritorial consul jurisdiction. Consul jurisdiction. Consular notification. Central authority. Letter of rogatory. Res judicata.
Res judicata. Res judicata.
Res judicata. And then stare decisis. Decisis.
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah, decisive. Stare decisive.
Oh, decisive. Advanced course for commissioned Moorish consuls, elected heads of Moorish bodies politics, other elected officials of Moorish bodies politics. Parts of the course outline are from Chapter 9, Heads of States and Foreign Offices, Chapter 10, Diplomatic Envoys, and Chapter 11, Consuls, from the Oxford Public International Law by Sir Robert Jennings, QC, and Arthur Watts, KCMG, QC. Chapters 9, 10, and 11 are from Part 3, Organs of the States for Their International Relations. The book has 4 parts. Part 1, the subject of international law. Part 2, the objects of international law. Part 3, organs of the states, for their international. And then Part 4 is international transactions.
We're going to stop there.
Okay.
Go stroll past that, Terrence, because they can read this on their own. All right, that's in the book. This is in that book, and we're looking to probably have an advanced course starting in October. Like we'll run this study group until August, and we'll structure an advanced course, advanced 12-week course with this structure. All right, this structure is from the book that she just read. Continue. Let's go next page, Terrence. Let's continue to scroll until I tell you to stop. All right, we had stop there. Go back, Terrence. Go back up. Go back up. Go back up. Go back up one. Go back up one. There you go. Stop right there. I'll start with what's the name? Go down. Go down. All right, go. Moroccan Post Media. There you go.
All right.
We have another reader.
I'll read Moroccan Post Media. Start there.
Yes.
The Moroccan Post Media is a social media, educational, and community outreach vehicle. Moroccan Post newspaper. The Moroccan Post newspaper was established in 2019 as an educational and community outreach vehicle to facilitate unity among Moors classified as Black, Negro, Colored, and African American in the United States Census Bureau in the Commerce Department. Masonic Outreach, Masonic Gate newspaper. Abdullah L. Talib Mosi Bey's Masonic Gate newspaper established in 2011. The Masonic Gate is an outreach and educational vehicle to Eastern Stars, Daughters of ISIS, and Masons classified as Black, Negro, Colored, and African American in the United States Census Bureau in the Commerce Department. Shem Malachi Bey's 13-year history of developing and implementing his plan and proposal of restoring Moorish national political unity, Moorish national government principles, Moorish consular and diplomatic relations, and Moorish treaty protections, the Moors. 2010, developing the plan to restore national political unity and Moorish national principles among the Moors. Shem learned through his study of international law, treaty law, consular, and diplomatic relations that the approach for over 100 years of Moors attempting to recover lost Moorish sovereignty and to bring the Moroccan Empire out of her 200-year period of temporary political extinction, disintegration, collapse due to European conquest and colonization by using the United States Constitution and laws, United States departments and agencies, and United States courts, is erroneous and misdirection. Shem further learned that these taken by conscious Moors for over 100 years are not in harmony with the principles of the laws of nations, public international law, with regard to the recovery of our lost Moorish sovereignty, the restoration of Moorish statehood, continuity of our Moorish state, re-entering the international community of nations as an old and original state under the principles of reversion to sovereignty, and post-millennium restoration of Moorish territorial sovereignty, Moorish personality of law, and Moorish state responsibility. Shem expanded his studies to the reestablishment of diplomatic and treaty relations with the European kingdoms with which the Moroccan Empire negotiated treaties between the 1500s and 1800s, the enforcement of Moorish capitulation, extraterritorial consular jurisdiction vested in the Moorish bilateral treaties. Shem clearly is aware that these political processes, in accordance with the principles of the laws of nations, public international law, and recovery of a state's lost sovereignty due to European colonization and conquest, will be raising the Moorish flag politically. It has become very clear to Shem that the conscious Moors have yet to raise the Moorish flag politically. The act of conscious Moors physically raising the Moorish flag does not constitute a political raising of the Moorish flag. My computer's getting ready to die, so sorry. Somebody else has to read.
Yeah, another reader. Jump right in. Can we go into 9:30?
We can go to 9:30, but
All right.
after that, then
No, we're going to 9:30.
yeah, we stick on time.
Let's bring the Moroccan Empire out of her 200-year period of political extinction, disintegration, dismemberment, collapse. Let's raise our Moorish flag politically once again. Shem Malachi Bey drafts the following documents: Moorish Imperial Parliament Council, Treaty of Liberty, Letter of Political Legitimacy, Executive Order, Letter of Presumption and Assumption that Moors are United States citizens and residents of the states in the Union. In 2012, Shem Malachi Bey's call to restore national political unity and Moorish national principles among the Moors. Moorish Convention at Philadelphia, 400 in attendance from various parts of the country. Obstacles and setbacks. The struggle to facilitate the principles of political legitimacy, the will of the people, and the will of the people in 2012 at the convention. For most of those who attended the Moorish Convention, the people were not put first. Personal agendas surfaced and dominated the conference. The principles of political legitimacy, the will of the people, and the consent of the people took a back seat to personal agendas, selfishness, and greed. 2013 to 2018, overcoming obstacles and maintaining integrity, putting the people first, honoring the principles of political legitimacy, the consent of the people, and the will of the people. Shem Malachi Bey continues his plan to restore national political unity among the Moors by working on a local level by facilitating the establishment of the Moorish body politic, Lenapehoking Nation. Lenapehoking Nation in Sika Muchin, Saki Muchin, Shakamoxum, Philadelphia. I don't know why that's so difficult. Means, quote, to make a chief or king place. Sakami, chief or their three clan, Kika Kima, clan or clan chief, or the place of eels, referring to it as being an important summer fishing spot for the native Moors. Shem Malachi Bey drafts the following documents: legislation for the creation of the Lenapehoking Nation, Moorish national principles, due process procedures, Moorish government protocols and operations, functions of government offices, government officials' duties. Oath of office, Moorish nationalization process, name declaration, court decrees, letters of rogatory, removal petitions, writs of quo warranto. 2019 to present, Shem Malachi Bey resumes work to implement his plan and proposal on a national scale, lessons learned from the 2012 Moorish Convention, the importance of education as the key to facilitating political legitimacy, the consent of the people, and the will of the people, curriculum development, Shem Malachi Bey and his growth in the realization that education is a key component to restoring common thought and national political unity among the Moors. Shem Malachi Bey begins working with Abdullah El Talib Mosi Bey and Tamara El, April 2019. With the Lenapehoking Nation, Shem worked in the Shakamoxum territory, Philadelphia. Although Shem continued to implement his plan and proposal for restoring Moorish national political principles and political unity among our people, Shem never lost his drive to effectuate political and economic change for our people on a national scale and to address the generations of European mass denationalization of our people, the centuries of European colonization of our Moorish lands, the generations of European subjugation of our people, the issues of biological, linguistic, and cultural genocide launched against our people to the family of nations on the international platform. In April of 2019, Shem began working with his friend of 15 years, Abdullah El Talib Mosi Bey. At that time, Tamara El was working with Abdullah as his layout designer and assistant. The establishment of a Moorish caucus, June 2019. The caucus convened for 4 hours every second and fourth Saturday of the month for meetings and education. The meeting time was for 30 minutes and the educational lessons for 3.5 hours. There was a meeting and an educational lesson for each caucus meeting. Educational topics. There was a great emphasis on international law and treaty law, treaty cases, Moorish treaty enforcement through Moorish government structure, consular relations, and diplomacy. In June 2019, over 50 Moors assembled to form the Moorish Imperial Restoration Caucus to bring our people, now classified as Black, Negro, Colored, African American, Latino, Spanish, Indian, etc., back under the tree of divine, natural, and positive law to reconnect to the principles of our ancient mothers and fathers as the founding civilized people who first inhabited and cultivated the earth. Also, our ancient mothers and fathers set among themselves a political, civic, and economic structure to contract one nation to another. The Moorish Imperial Restoration Caucus observed that addressing centuries of European colonization of Moorish land and the mass denationalization of the Moors through a constructive race paradigm as the root cause of generations of mass incarceration, crime, drug abuse, homelessness, poor housing conditions, poor health care, miseducation, and high illiteracy would be a daunting and never-ending endeavor if continued on a case-by-case basis. Through the study of treaties, treaty cases, international law, acts, agreements, covenants, conventions, constitutions, and court cases in the International Court of Justice, the Moorish Imperial Restoration Caucus learned that facilitating the formation of a national Moorish governing body among the various Moorish provincial body politics would be the most prudent approach to addressing centuries of European colonization of Moorish land and the mass denationalization through modern constructive race paradigm. By assembling into a national governing body and forming a national constitution among ourselves, we will reestablish our rights and duties of statehood as a returning state into the international community of nations. By reclaiming our pre-existing Moorish sovereignty through a national governing body, we will position ourselves politically to reestablish diplomacy with the nations with which we negotiated treaties between 1610 and 1892, England/Great Britain, France, Spain, Portugal, United States, Netherlands, Denmark, Sardinia, Belgium, etc.
Hold there for a minute. It's important that we have this in writing because I want people to know that Shem is not a Johnny come lately. Not a Johnny come lately. Shem didn't start when he started working with Abdullah Bey. I want to be very clear that Shem did not begin when he began working with Abdullah Bey 5 years ago. 5 years ago was not the beginning of Shem's. So when Shem was on Sister Najma's platform, Shem was talking about the history. And I said, well, we need to put this in writing. We need to put it in, it's better when it's in writing so we can get it out to tens of thousands. People can see it. And I wanted the people who support that you read it, that Shem is not a Johnny come lately. He did not begin the process right when 5 years ago was working with me. So I wanted the people to know the conference he had in 2012 and the setbacks. Terrence made it very clear that's important that we put the setbacks down and the lessons learned. All right. So that's important. And that needs to be read at the conference. This needs to be read at the conference and put in writing and distributed. All right. As Shem is one of the keynote speakers. So this is when I'll read this at the conference so that people know this is important when it's in writing. Different when Shem is talking about it. All right. But it's in writing. It takes on a different light. As you know, I'm a writer. All right. Continue.
The development of educational institutions and curricula to teach the people on a large-scale level, 2019 to present. Moroccan Post School for Government and International Law, May 2022 to present. Moroccan Post School for Government and International Law, the Moroccan Post Media YouTube, Moroccan Post Media Facebook, Moroccan Post Media website, Moroccan Post newspaper, network, and outreach. The need for a strategic plan, sorry.
Go ahead.
The need for a strategic plan to restore Moorish national political unity to effectively address the centuries of European conquest of Moorish land. Conquest, occupation, subjugation, colonization, loss of sovereignty, acquisition of territory, and mass denationalization in international law. False claims of terra nullius, land without owners, Christopher Columbus discovering America, and the New World concept as a disguise for Pope Alexander VI papal decree of Inter Caetera Divina of March 4th, 1493. Doctrine of Discovery and the International Law of Colonialism. Columbus Day, the annual honoring of Pope Alexander VI papal decree of Inter Caetera Divina of March 4th, 1493. Doctrine of Discovery and the International Law of Colonialism. An Inter Caetera Divina Doctrine of Discovery of May 4th, 1493, the European conquest and colonization of Moorish lands and the subjugation of Moors.
We're going to move on, go through this, go to the next page, Terrence. I'm going to pass this. We're going to, all right, so we have another reader. We'll end on this. We'll have, this is just 2 paragraphs of Shem Malachi statement, which is in Moors and Masonry, Part 2, Chapter 8. All right. I just put 2 paragraphs here. And then so we have 14 minutes. We'll end at 9:30. All right. We'll have someone read this.
I'll read it, Abdullah.
Okay. Yes.
Shem Malachi-based proposal for the call for the restoration of national Moorish political unity through political legitimacy, the will of the people, consent of the people, good government, large-scale community outreach and network. Shem Malachi-based plan, public statement to the people. Greetings. My proposal and plan for the restoration of national Moorish political unity is rooted in the past structures of ancient governments. The proposal and plan for the restoration of national political unity among our people, the Moors, most of whom are classified as Black, Negro, Colored, African American, and the United States Census Bureau in the Commerce Department, is to facilitate political legitimacy, consent of the people through large-scale community outreach and network. The large-scale outreach approach to unconscious Moors and the network among I lost my place. The large-scale community outreach and network. This large-scale outreach approach to unconscious Moors and the network among the conscious Moors having political bodies are vital to contribute to the formation and expression of the will of the people. Having a network vehicle that creates the space for the formation, is the fundamental principle to facilitating good government and the basis to political legitimacy.
Back up. You missed it. You skipped. Read it. Go back to the sentence. You skipped.
I'm trying to.
Yes. No problem. Go back. The large scale approach. The large scale approach to unconscious Moors and the network among the conscious Moors having political bodies are vital to contribute to formation and expression of the will of people. Continue.
Having a network vehicle that creates the space for
having a network vehicle to create the space for the go ahead.
For the formation.
For the formation and expression of the will of the people is a fundamental principle to facilitating good government and the basis to political legitimacy. The political action of the Moroccan Moorish political bodies coming together to form central governing body composed of many Moorish body politics to function as a Moorish national provincial or temporary governing body to serve as a voice for our people in the international arena is much needed to address the systematic generational mass denationalization and subjugation of our people, the Moors, as well as the generational European colonization of our lands known to the world as North America, South America, Central America, and Americana. An interpolitical constitution will be formed from our Moorish political governing bodies by sending up representatives elected by the Moorish Moroccan people or by supreme bodies or by supreme authority who will exercise collectively the sovereign power and authority in a provincial capacity. That the Moorish Deys, Beys, Emirs, Caliphs, Pashas, and Bashars, indigenous Aboriginal people, operated in unity with Moorish emperors and sultans, once exercised before the dismantling of our Moorish empire and the usurpation of our Moorish sovereignty due to conquest, subjugation, and colonization by the Empire of Spain, Empire of Portugal, Kingdom of France, Kingdom of England/Great Britain, Kingdom of the Netherlands, Dutch Republic, the Kingdom of Sweden, Denmark, Sardinia, and Belgium.
All right, stop there. Now you see the importance of that. We're not doing something new. We're not doing something new. This is pre-existing, a pre-existing sovereignty, a pre-existing empire structure, pre-existing obligations that we're obligated to, but in order to fulfill the treaty obligations on our part, we must be in government structure. So this is pre-existing. This is what's known as the recovery in international law. All right. We're moving from the loss of Moorish sovereignty to the recovery of lost Moorish sovereignty. Moving from the loss of Moorish sovereignty to recovery of lost Moorish sovereignty. All right. Let me give you, in 1968, Ceylon, also Sri Lanka, was known as Sri Lanka, the representative of Ceylon in 1968, in the presence of the United Nations International Law Commission of the Rights and Duties of States. Ceylon had been classified by the international community as a new state. The representative in 1968 challenged that false claim, and that Ceylon is not a new state, but an original state, and should be entered the family of nations under the reversion to sovereignty as an old and original state. Ceylon, the Ceylon representative, pointed to 19th century relations. So that's major. So these are the principles that we read that gives us a clear direction. Like reading the 1952 case between France and the United States, the International Court of Justice. We reading treaty cases, reading international law principles, reading the Vienna Convention of Constellations, Vienna Convention of Treaty Relations, reading the multilateral treaties, conventions, acts, covenants. And this is what Shem introduced to us at the caucus in 2019, acts, convention, covenants. Society versus New Haven, 1823, World versus Hilton, 1796. So that, meaning this was not the approach. This was not the mindset in this Moorish movement. It was reporting parts of the state government, come back into the constitution for the government, force the Constitution, enforce the Constitution, enforce the Constitution, enforce the Constitution, Constitution for the government, so can I get your supervisor? I'm asking, now you're asking for the supervisor. Can I add your supervisor? As opposed to, I have a right to consular notification. I have a right to, so we stop by a cop. So my conscious more, stop by a cop. Can you bring your supervisor? Not, I have a right to consular notification. I have a right to consular notification. That was not. So it's actually a level, it's knowledge. It's knowledge. When you are trapped in this misconception that Moors are part and parcel, part and partial, we're neither part and partial nor part and parcel of this said government. We are trapped in the misconception that we, the people of the United States, are the Moors, and the United States is the Europeans. We, the people of the United States, the Moors, that's what I was taught. I taught this to thousands of people. I taught this to thousands of people for 25 years. We, the people of the United States, the Moors, that's what I taught this for 25 years. All right, do ordain and establish this Constitution for the United States of America. That's the Europeans. All right, I taught for 25 years. The federal government, that's the Moors. The state government, that's the Europeans. So hold on. So that means that the 13 states did not form the federal government. Hold on. So that means hold on. If that be true, that the federal government, the Moors, was formed by the Moors, that means that the 13, that the Constitutional Convention is a lie. That the Constitutional Convention is a lie. The Constitutional Convention never happened. The Constitutional Convention in 1787 never happened.
We're going to get deep into
If
that
be true,
later.
if it be true, I'm speaking subjunctive mood, if it be true that the Moors established the federal government, that means 1787 never happened. That means that the delegates, that the states that signed, that the delegates of the states that signed the Articles of Confederation in when it was drafted in 1787, the Articles of Confederation was put into force in 1781. You look at the signatory page of the Articles of Confederation, the same states that signed the Articles of Confederation, United States viz, the same states, 13 states, United States viz, Article 1 of the Definitive Peace Treaty. All right? I don't have anything. Yes. My bad, 927, because I'm on live, that's why. Yes, so no problem. Yes, so that means that, so this, we have to reanalyze this. You know, we're not going to grow with false concepts. This United States Constitution is about maintaining control of stolen wealth, our land, or how the states, and we'll get into that Article 3, Section 2 next week. The next two sessions. All right, we're going to analyze Article 3, Section 2 of the United States Constitution. Which jurisdiction is the right jurisdiction for the Moors? Article 3, which court is the right proper court for the Moors? Article 3, Section 2 of the United States Constitution. I'll break down each clause and cases that for each clause. I mean, I spent 3 days on this. And then we have extraterritoriality consular jurisdiction, or we have the state courts. So this is going to be very detailed. I've been putting a lot of time, and I said to Shem that we have to do that. We have to break down Article 3, Section 2 of the United States Constitution by clauses, and then put cases. What cases apply for each clauses? You're going to look at one of the major clauses deals with land disputes among the states. The Articles of Confederation that was structured that way are protecting stolen wealth. How is that Constitution, our Constitution? That Constitution is about they're protecting our stolen land. Article 3, Section 2, where it's a state dealing with land disputes between the states of our land, stolen land. How is that our Constitution? What I'm saying is, So much focus. Just give me 3 more minutes, Terrence. I just
Okay,
need
go
1
ahead.
more minute, then we'll close out.
All right.
So much focus has been on this right to travel, 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 as the approach into this Moorish movement. Not, well, how do we recover our stolen land? Like, now I'm not talking about mortgages. I'm talking, how do we recover our stolen land? France and Spain and Great Britain, the Netherlands. How do we recover? How do we gain control of our stolen land? Like, none of that was the approach. It wasn't until Shem. I'm just keeping it real. All right. So with that, I end. I know, off that end, because I made a promise going to end. All right. So y'all, once again, thank you for sharing your story. We greatly appreciate y'all. We'll see you back here on the third Thursday.
Yes,
All right, third Thursday. In the meantime, go to the Moroccan Post Media YouTube page. All right. Go, if you can grab in the chat. If you don't
Hold on. This is what's going to happen, Abdullah. That way everyone can have access to this video.
Go ahead, Terrence. That's right. Go ahead, Terrence. Yes.
Everybody have access to this video. I'll have Abdullah to, we're actually going to post it on our YouTube page, but it's going to be private. So everybody will get a link and it's going to be in your email. So you'll access it from your email, and please do not share the link with anyone. We'll also, if back up just a little bit, we're also going to get into how the United States was formed to also prove and show evidence of how and why we are not part and parcel or partial of this said government, which being, the United States. So we'll actually show that and not just say it, because I know some people get offended when we hear when they hear that, or when they learn it from a prophet or whatever. But we will actually show and prove that we are not part and parcel.
Yeah, we'll do that next class. We'll do that
we'll
next
do
class.
that in the future.
Yes.
I just wanted to
Oh,
get that
no
out there
problem.
so anybody won't be offended. But this is all this class is all about showing proof, and not hearsay. So with that,
next class, February 15th.
Not next Thursday, but the
third Thursday, the first and third Thursday, the first and third Thursday of the month, the first and third Thursday of the month. So we're going to do what Terrence suggested, that we're going to, so we won't do Article 3, Section 2, and extraterritorial. We'll do that the first. I'll push back King. So we'll do that in the first in March. We'll do that in March, but we'll do, who actually formed the United States. So we'll go into that. We'll spend the next on that. That's very important. Thank you, Terrence. That's important that we do that.
Absolutely.
All right. So I'll prepare for that.
The next class is on the 15th.
All right. The next class is on the 15th. I need your emails. Text me your emails. Put your emails in the Telegram. Text me your emails. If I don't have some of your emails. All right. But my phone number is 215-300-5471. I got some of you. I have most of your numbers. Once again, my number is 215-300-5471. Text me your email, your name. Already have. If I don't have your name, but the name, so that I can type that up and send that to Terrence. All right, so Terrence can send you.
You can actually put that in the chat. Put it in the chat.
Put my phone number in the chat.
Information in the chat. Everybody can actually put their information right there in the chat, and we can grab it.
Put your information right in the chat right now before we close out.
I'm going to email you. I don't know how to do that yet.
I have your email.
Okay.
I have your email, Sister Deani.
Thank you.
All right. You know, Sirius, Pacola, and I have your emails. I mean, y'all, yes. All right, Malik. All right, got Malik. I'm snap shooting. All right. All right.
I'll send you a screenshot.
You see? All right. All right. All right. I'm snap shooting anyway. Yep. Yeah, I'm on it.
That's cool.
All right. I'm snap shooting. I need the name too. What's that? Carlos. All right, Carlos. I got Carlos. All right, Carlos. I didn't have your email, Carlos. All right, good. Nitria, I have your email. Sister Noros, I didn't have your, all right, Kadeem, I think, yeah, Kadeem, you gave me your email earlier. I'm not sure. All right, got your email, Kadeem, now. All right, I don't know, man, I don't know if I had this email for you. All right, so I got, just put your, so most of you are most of the email I have. All right, so this is good. I thought this was I wanted to do the round robin, and those who are the ones who will not join today, we'll give them opportunity, but we won't go an hour, and that was not the plan, was go 30 minutes, but we had quite a few people, it was just because I said the 30 minutes that was I mean, that took that long.
It's all
We
good.
wanted to get people, because that's important. It's important that we
Yes.
have that on the recording. All right.
Absolutely.
I'm going to stop talking. Cortez, you take over. You close us out.
Peace, everyone. We're done.
All right. Peace.
I already got everything in.
All right.
Hey.
Peace.
All right, peace.
Thank you.
See you on the 15th.
Thank you.
Peace, everyone.
See you then. Peace.
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 Islam, peace.
Well, let me get out. How do I do that?
All right.
Here? Oh, here.